Trey, I have a question for you.
Oh no.
Let me get there. I didn't memorize it, people, so deal with it. We're not that type of show. Trey, would you rather have all attractive people be severely allergic to your genitals?
Oh shit.
Or all of your sexual partners henceforth develop post-traumatic stress disorder?
Holy shit. Say that again. Please say that again.
All right. All attractive people like in the world are allergic to your genitals.
Gotcha. Okay.
Or everybody that you've been with, all your partners, develop post-traumatic stress disorder, and I imagine spread the word.
Holy shit. Yeah, I'd probably do the post-traumatic stress.
You're like, I already took care of it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
the allergic to the genitals thing was just what got me.
That's pretty funny.
So one more. Would you rather be the biggest person at a midget orgy? Is midget even allowed? Are we supposed to say midget, or is it something else? Yeah.
I don't know.
Write us, and I apologize, guys, if you are a midget and whatever.
What classifies a midget?
I don't know. Is it like
4 feet?
No, I think it's
shorter
less.
than that.
Three something. Would you rather be the biggest person at a midget orgy or the youngest person at a nursing home orgy?
Oh God!
Nursing home orgy.
Now, are we talking about big as far as height or big as far as where it counts?
You know, Trey, it didn't specify, so I'm going to let you.
I want to be the biggest at a midget orgy.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that'd be right.
Yeah.
Because all those girls would be like, yeah.
I mean, you just pick one up, put them on, slide them off, pick another one up.
Because what was the other one? Youngest? Why would that intrigue you?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Come here, Gertrude.
She gets
Take those teeth out,
she's
baby.
She's excited. Me? She's like, me? Oh, yeah.
Put your teeth in this glass of water. Keep it clean.
God.
Ooh.
Okay. And welcome back to Stay in the Gray podcast.
Man, how long has it been?
It's been a while. Today's show that we released was 2 weeks.
Wow.
And we apologize for that.
That's the longest break we've ever taken. So far.
I think so. Hopefully it's not that long, but it was basically I went on a trip and everything bad that could possibly happen to me happened to me.
Yeah.
Did a little bit of a video of that on some social media, but it was just the universe, and I'm battling the universe right now. I'm not giving in. I'm not also I'm not going to succumb to it. I'm gonna battle it, but in a respectful way. How about that? My wife goes, "You need to be careful and quit yelling at the universe because it's going to keep."
I feel like we need a Karate Kid song right about in there,
like a montage.
Yeah,
where I'm just like fired up.
So,
but I couldn't get the show out. I wanted to get the one that we released today out earlier, and I just couldn't get it done in time. And
it's out.
We never want to put out garbage.
No, not at all.
I mean, even a rushed out show would not be garbage with us. But I still it took some time with it. So we're back. I'm back. I mean, if you didn't see the video, I had a cracked-ish, I guess, type rib. It was bruised. It wasn't fully fractured, but it was kind of like in the middle. And that put me down for a few days. And then I lost a tooth from an old hockey injury, and it came out, and I had to search my pasta for about 7 minutes with my phone flashlight, which had people looking.
Wondering what the hell's going on.
This guy, what's he doing with his flash? Is his pasta okay? Like, and they started looking at their own pasta. Like,
I didn't even think of that.
Should I?
What did we get?
Should I be looking?
Should I?
Oh wait, he got the same thing I got. Let's
no. Yeah.
So I got that, and of course, Then our flight, we were stuck for 48 hours. Trying to get out of Bangor, Maine, back down through Philly, and it was because of storms and a hurricane and this and that.
How'd your little ones do during all that?
Overall they were pretty good.
Yeah,
but it made it obviously more difficult.
Yeah.
If it's just my wife and myself, we would sit and drink and who cares? But we had to watch the kids. You can't just let them run around.
Yeah, adult. Yeah,
adult.
Adult.
So we're back, and
Yeah, we are.
we're back ready to roll. So
Me and you, or you and your wife?
all
of the above.
All the above.
Yeah.
My wife is back also.
Yeah.
She has not run away yet. But I started looking over some things and all of what we've been doing, and especially ever since we've gone in here into season 2, and we've done video, and it's been great, and I've had a lot of good stuff.
Loving the video.
Loving the video, and pleasantly surprised because of sometimes we might not look the best. It's not like it's Brad Pitt and George Clooney sitting here, but
It's damn close.
it's damn close.
At least that's what our mom said.
Yeah, my mom said we look great. And so I was looking through all these things, and I started doing what's popular right now are these reels.
A reel. What's a reel?
A reel or a short.
A short.
And
Are we going back to the midget talk?
Are we gonna Are we gonna lose some of our young audience if we have any? Because they're like, they don't even know what a reel is. Apparently, these are these like short videos.
Okay.
And our acquaintance, I'll call him acquaintance. He's our closest of friends that has written the song and blah blah blah. We've heard about this gentleman in quite a few of our shows.
Very critical asshole.
His son, very critical asshole. That's his new name, critical asshole. CA. Ka. His son is a teenager, and he's like, these days they have no attention span. They won't listen to your podcast because it's longer than 4 seconds. They have to. And so these TikTok and all these reels, they just flip through them.
Right.
And so if you get one that catches people's attention, it's great. And so I was looking through here, and I'm just like, this is the way to roll. So if you start seeing some reels from Stay in the Great podcast, that's why we do our research here at this show.
Yeah, we do. To an extent.
But what happened, Trey, is that for YouTube, which is a big focus of ours,
right?
I started doing these shorts, and they get more views and more everything than anything else we've ever done.
Nice.
Because apparently that's where it's at right now. But what happens now is that I'm also getting likes, and YouTube has a dislike button.
Oh, no.
So like...
That one's never touched with us, though.
So I'll get... Today, I tell you what, I was like, oh, hell yeah, we got lots of... Look, we got, whatever... all these likes, and then there were like 2 dislikes on it, and I was like pissed. I was like, who
does it say who dislikes it?
No, but that's the problem. You're like, who are these assholes?
We're gonna go visit them.
What would you not like? This was delightful. This video was delightful.
Right.
How could you possibly hit the dislike?
Wouldn't that be funny if it's our moms disliking it?
Or the guy that we keep talking about, or
right.
Somebody that's just like fucking with us.
Right.
But I was just sitting there going, I want to know why. I just want to know why.
Yeah, that's fair.
What would make you take the time to hit dislike?
Right. Just skip past it.
Right. Was it that bad?
Really? Maybe it's an ex.
I don't know.
One of our exes?
I'm hitting the mic because I'm fired up.
I've got plenty of exes out there. So.
Yeah, well, yeah. We hope to hear more about those at some point. But anyway, so I wanted to tell you that's what's going on with the reels and the shorts, and that we're caught up with the trend, if you will.
Are we? We're trending.
And speaking of trend, go on YouTube, and we're hosted by Spotify. I've said this a million times. Subscribe. Subscribe.
Just hit the subscribe.
I'm going high pitch. Just subscribe to the show.
Yeah.
It really isn't. It doesn't hurt you at all. It's one click, and that's what matters in this industry.
Right.
And I don't mean to sound like an asshole.
If you like us, just go subscribe.
Or if you don't, just fucking do it.
Subscribe.
Subscribe. So we don't have to. You don't have to hear us bitch anymore.
Subscribe ironically.
There you go.
There you go.
But that's what counts, and people are looking at that, and advertisers and people that matter in this industry want to see that. So if you could, I'll be nice. And YouTube and Spotify specifically, those are the 2 that we're focusing on at this point.
I like it.
So what I don't like is the shirt that you're wearing tonight.
What? Why? What's wrong with my shirt?
Well, I like the shirt.
Okay.
I don't like what's on it because it's not my team. Anybody that's listening that can't see it, he's wearing his Dallas Cowboys shirt.
Yeah.
The shirt looks good. It's very I like basic. I don't like a lot of activity. going on
That's
my
a good
shirt.
word, yeah.
I don't like it to be all, whatever. Just it says Cowboys, and on the back it says some other bullshit about being America's team.
America's team, baby.
And I'm wearing my Steeler jersey.
Which sucks because I do like the jersey.
Oh, you like the color?
I like the
jersey
colors.
and
And it sucks even more is that we should have drafted the gentleman that you're wearing. And
I'm wearing T.J. Watt, who
Watt,
is, in my opinion, the best rushing lineman in the league. I think so. I think anybody that argues that is just jealous that they don't have him.
Micah's coming up.
No, he's whatever. No.
Anyway,
but so we have these in honor of football season. We're in football season. I'm pumped, ready to roll.
Yes, sir.
And this whole show has been about poor Ryan, but I'm gonna go a little more. Not to mention, besides all the things that happened to me,
Yes.
this last weekend of football was probably about as bad as it can get for me.
That was a tough one, yeah.
Probably about as good as it can get for you.
Absolutely.
And so I thought to myself, am I happy for Trey? Immediately I was like, fuck no.
No.
What an asshole. But I also, I know how you felt because we've been on both sides. Both of us have been on both sides. And I'm hoping that there was a part of you that was sympathetic and you're like, oh.
It's funny because even my parents reach out and say, oh, Ryan's not going to be in a good
Oh,
mood.
really?
Yeah.
It's so funny that I have that impact. Like, there are people that are like, hey, I saw the Steelers score and thought of you. I was like, oh, okay. Well, Steelers didn't do too well. And more surprisingly was my Texas A&M Aggies. Just that was a shocker. And they went down and lost to Miami. And the way they did it was just strange and falling down all over, like a peewee game out there. And so I had a tough weekend. Trey had a good weekend. His Cowboys, I don't think I've seen a. I think I've seen a 40-0 game.
I think they call that a curb stomp.
Yeah, that was a curb stomp in the rain. Well, in the rain, maybe.
Yeah. On the road.
But in the rain, we'll see. Maybe if the weather is better, it could have been different. Maybe it would have been 40-7.
They would have got more sacks.
Right. And then the big game of the weekend for my man here was his. This is really hard. His Texas Longhorns went into Tuscaloosa, Alabama, and beat the Alabama Crimson Tide, who, as we all know, well, if you don't know, you should, has been kind of like the king of college football for the last 15 to 20 years, I would say. Maybe not 20, 15 years. What do you say, 15?
At least. But on the other hand, Texas is I would say, the big underachiever, would you say? Or
they're one of
more
I would say
than than anything. It seems like they're always in the top 25, even though they don't do shit the year before, and then fall out, and anyway.
Well, and for their resources that they have at that university, and then what Texas A&M starting to have too. There's no excuse,
right?
And you're going, how has Texas had 5 losing seasons in the last 12 years or something crazy like that?
Right.
What? And now they kind of both Texas schools, A&M and Texas, have both put together some good recruiting, and then I tell you what, they went in. We'll see how good Alabama. I mean, at the beginning of the year, you just don't know,
right?
But man, no one picked that. A couple of people, Texas fans, picked. They're going to win. Nobody other than Texas fans picked that straight up with a straight face. So, congratulations.
I wouldn't have picked that. I wouldn't have put money on that.
Congratulations to you guys, and we'll see. Hopefully, it's not that Bama sucks, and that hopefully it's Bama's good and you guys are good. For your sake,
right?
For my sake, I hope it's the former.
Yeah, because if they shit the bed, that win doesn't mean shit.
Well, sure. And likewise on the other side of things, if the Aggies go forward and have a great conference play and their only loss ends up being on the road to what ends up being a good Miami team, then
that's true. Yeah.
So there's a lot of football left, and so what Trey and I are going to do, pay attention, people.
Me too.
Is not tonight because we won't have this show out in time, but for our shows that are going to be released on Fridays, which would have been today's show, we're gonna give one pick in college or pro for gamblers.
Dun, dun, dun.
It's going to include. It's going to obviously include the spread. Or an over under, and it may even get into crazy like, will so and so have over or under 65 yards rushing?
Are those prop bets or
prop bets?
Okay.
Why not?
Gotcha.
If it's one guaranteed bet from each of us each week, and we'll keep track of it and see how it goes.
But if they lose, they don't call us back. No.
No.
If they win,
send
us $1.
We'll see. I mean, if Trey and I are 0 and 13, we may not have anybody that's.
We may stop doing that.
They're not interested in that segment anymore.
Yeah.
They may want to fast forward to the next segment.
Exactly.
But we'll see what happens. I think it'll be fun. I've done a little gambling in my day, and it's always fun. So we'll try it.
I'll be honest with you. The over-unders, the spread, and all that stuff just confuses the shit out of me.
Well, the spread shouldn't confuse you that bad. Or does it?
I guess it confuses me as far as the how to accurately pick or strategically pick something correct when it's based off the spread. So,
well, that's what makes it tough, and I'll throw my mom under the bus. She doesn't understand it either. She does. She understands it now, but she used to get so mad. I'll be like. She's like, I want this team. And I'm like, Mom, they're favored by 21.5 points. So if they win only by 21, you lose. She goes, that doesn't make any sense. Yes, it does.
It does, yeah.
Because if it was just win or lose, everybody's going to pick team A. And so that's what it is. It's basically leveling the playing field.
Right.
And so that's what makes it difficult. Because I can't tell you how many times I've had games where it's less, you miss it by half a point or a point. It's almost like Vegas knows what they're doing.
Well, one quick question before we move on. I don't understand how they decide whether or not they're going to put a minus or a plus. So if one game is -3 or it's +3, but it's the same thing. So why do they?
I'll answer it really fast.
Okay.
The team that's favored is minus because they're giving away points.
Well, no, I get that, but
the team that's underdog is getting
plus.
points, so they're getting +3 points.
But why do they go through and say, okay, this one is -2, but then the next game may be +2?
It's just the way it's written.
Why don't they just? It's a -2 for
I don't think there's a strategy.
Okay.
I think that's just the way they're doing it. So, like, say you want to take the underdog, so you're going to take a team +2.
Right.
You're not going to go, well, the other team's -2, but I'm going to take this. You know what I mean? You.
It's confusing.
Let's move on.
Okay, got it.
Trey and I initially wanted to do a sports show, by the way, but
we know shit about sports.
it's the field is saturated, and we thought crazy stories and our shenanigans in life, and we'd be better at that. And I think we made the right decision.
Yeah,
especially fantasy football. Don't even get me started on fantasy football, Trey. Right now,
college, pros, and fantasy.
No. My fantasy specifically last weekend, because of a team on Monday night in overtime that had a punt return, and the person just happened to have that special teams, and they won by like 0.6. Don't even get me started.
Yeah,
all night long, I'm like, well, at least I got a fantasy win. my other teams suck. I was late at the airport. I have no tooth. My cracked rib, but my fantasy
messed
team
up your soup.
My fantasy team has got the victory.
Nope.
No. And it's so funny because I looked up at like the universe and I was like, really? Not even this, huh? Not even this. So, but we're excited. Fantasy's going, and the Stay in the Great podcast league is it's not the best.
Right.
We try.
We do what we can.
Last year's winner just got his ass kicked in week 1, so that works. That made me happy.
Yeah,
I was happy. He chose based on his team last year.
Yeah.
Did you know this?
Yeah.
He told me, he goes, well, this. I said, you have 6 of the same guys. He goes, well, last year they led me to victory.
It's hard to argue that logic.
He's like, well, that's true. That's true. Some people think that this year is different than last year. So.
Anyway. In fact, he dropped his starting tight end and then picked him right back up.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I was trying to go after him.
Hey,
bastard.
Hey, look, he has strategy. Okay,
apparently
everybody has their own strategy, and he has his. I'm going to drop a guy and pick him right back up.
I guess it worked for him last year.
He's like, I'm just going to fuck with everybody's mind.
Yeah, he did, bastard.
So let's move on. I just wanted to give you guys a quick kind of intro back in, and we're ready to roll. So
Yep.
here we go. I am going to go ahead and combine this with the stories that I've been telling about my trip.
Okay.
And what I mean by that is I have some airplane passenger do nots, if you will. Shenanigans that I thought were really funny. And especially, we were on a plane for 3.5 hours waiting, which, by the way, I think I'm supposed to be able to sue American for this, and I'll say their name. They just got fined. I think you and I talked about that. And here I am sitting there for 3.5 hours.
What's the point of that?
Well, they kept thinking we were going to take off, and then the weather would change in Philly, and then this, and then all of a sudden, then they get back in it because it's in a small city. I think I already mentioned it was Bangor, Maine. The TSA people had already gone home for the day.
Oh, wow.
So when they pull back up, we weren't allowed to get off, and it was just this whole big thing.
Oh my god!
But at least they gave us a pack of fucking cookies.
Oh, okay, cool.
And
that
water.
You probably had to share with your kids.
I didn't. And water.
Okay.
Can I have a cocktail? My rib is cracked, and I've been sitting here for Give me
a drink, damn it.
Even doers, which I don't even like. Anyway, so I started thinking about airplane stuff, and this article popped up almost like I was supposed to talk about it. And so there's some things about airplanes. At least this stuff didn't happen. So first off, these are people on airplanes that you, by the end of it, you want to just,
Got it.
Okay. On airplanes, some of them have the TVs.
Gotcha. Yep.
Right? Throughout the whole plane. What about the people who put their hair
Holy crap.
behind the thing where it's over the TV?
Oh my god.
I mean, obviously you tell her, right?
You have to.
Or him, whatever.
You have to.
But I don't know. It's still kind of like, are you not aware? Like, you have a TV in front of you, so the person behind you has one.
Right.
And I saw so many pictures and so many people that have posted that exact situation that I'm baffled by it. So that was one. People buy seats for crazy things, right?
Leg room.
Dogs,
yep.
On the airlines that allow it. We bought one for our, he's not even 2 yet, so technically he could still sit on our lap, but he's not going to sit on our lap. This guy, my little man, he needed his own seat.
Yeah.
So we bought it for him. There are people, and this one man bought a seat for his cello case.
Okay.
So this case, and you know how big a cello is literally taking up this whole. So the other person by the window is just like, can I get a drink? Like, looking around. The guy's just sitting there with his cello case.
Holy
He spent
shit.
How much money so that his cello case could sit on the plane?
Is he worried about it going underneath the plane?
I don't know. Maybe. Look, cellos
they're okay with that?
As long as he buys the ticket.
So it was sitting in a seat
with
a
seatbelt.
Seatbelt?
Oh, yeah.
Holy shit.
Well, of course, you have to put a seatbelt on your cello. And I know cellos are expensive. I get it, but come on. I just feel like...
That's wild to me.
And there were some other ones, too, that they talked about. They talked about... I don't even... obviously, the animals. There's one that a woman brought a parrot. We spoke about parrots a lot recently.
That could be interesting.
But she had her parrot, and everybody was a little nervous, and all of a sudden it just took off down the aisle.
Holy shit!
And everybody's like, it's this big. You're going.
That's pretty funny.
Did you need the parrot? Could you put it in cage for 3 hours under the? Is it really that? Anyway,
interesting.
So it brought up a point. Do you think that? Maybe this will turn into our serious topic of the night. Do you think that people who are large, like large,
right,
should have to buy a second seat? Like large. I mean, I'm talking about. I mean, you're hanging over the. Your fat. Sorry, your fat flaps are over the armrest, and the person next to you literally is being smothered.
Why? I would think they would, if they're that big, I would think they'd want to do that for their own comfort level, to where
Sure.
they can spread out a little bit. They can pull that handrest up. So have to?
Well, what if? Yeah, I mean, what if they can't afford it?
That's a tough one.
And,
Yeah,
and it is tough, right? Because you're sitting there going, well, look, the seats are made for a certain dimensions, and you don't fit in that dimension. It's almost like, I'm sorry, I'm gonna, when you go, before you get on the plane, there's that little thing that says if your bag can't fit. If your bag can't fit,
so you have a seat out there. If you can't
fit into this seat, then that's not going to work.
Have to buy another one. Oh shit!
Hey,
oh my god, that would be horrible.
And
I love it.
I know. As much as we love it, we laugh. I think there may be some truth to it.
Shit.
But can you imagine the people watching this right before they go, "Ma'am, can you please, can you have a seat in that seat?" And she can't get in, and she's like, "Whatever." And it becomes this huge thing, and everyone's like, "No, she can't fit." Like, anyway.
Well, you know what? We went for a helicopter ride in Hawaii, and they made everybody get on a scale.
Sure.
And verify, because they had to adjust, where people sat in the helicopter. So, I mean, how's that any different?
Well, and I've heard that for small planes, for like the little, what they call them, the pond jumpers, when you go from San Juan, Puerto Rico, over to the Virgin Islands or something, where you're in a plane that's like a 10-seater.
Right.
If this person that didn't fit in the thing, if that person was to get on one of those planes, they would. I mean, they would have to do it, and that's what you and I talked about this a lot when the fat shaming. We talked about that issue. You have to deal with it. I mean, that's what you are. It just you are. And this is talking about the safety of everybody, including yourself.
Right.
And so if you're getting on a small plane that's a 10-person plane, and they're like, we got to situate. We got to figure out where you can go.
Right.
You might have to be like in the back middle to.
Because if you think about it too, let's say for instance they buy an aisle seat, and God forbid something happens to the plane, this person is stuck in that aisle seat. They're not getting out quick. They're not jumping up. They're not getting going.
Well, they definitely shouldn't be in an exit row.
That could endanger lives too.
They can't get out the door to get to the slide.
The slide.
What if they go first and they break the slide?
Oh god!
Emergency situation. The slide is now broken.
The slide's gone.
And I understand that our listenership now has gone down because of anybody that might be heavy. But we say this stuff in jest, but there's some reality to it, right?
Would it be worth it? I mean, would you be frustrated if let's say for instance the second ticket was discounted in some way, just to compensate for something to that?
That's interesting because I think everyone else would. I think everyone else would be like, all right, fine, great, but they're not the ones that are making or losing money. It's the company. So if let's just use American Airlines or United or whoever, if they say, all right, well, we'll discount the second seat for you, they're the ones that are losing out money because that could be somebody else that's paying full fare.
I'm kind of curious how they decide on these dimensions as far as this is the suitable dimensions for people to sit in the seat and fit in the seat.
I don't know. I don't even know if there are dimensions.
Because,
that's why our idea of having it at the
because
the
Americans,
gate.
quote unquote, are overweight. So I mean, has the airlines ever gone in to say, we need to readjust the size to fit, the trend?
That's true. I always wondered why there was so little legroom, and so this. Obviously they're trying to put as many seats in the plane as they can.
Yeah,
and I get that. I get it. But when it comes to, these seats, sometimes I'll even sit in the seat and go, all right, dang, these things are pretty narrow.
Right.
And so I get it. And I can't even imagine somebody that's twice my weight trying to get in there. And so it becomes you need two seats. You just do. And especially in these small planes, I don't want to get on. I'm not going to lie. This isn't me being an asshole. This is me not wanting to die in the ocean on a small pond plane when you're getting in the plane and I'm going, this is making me nervous because you're over here and what if
Yep.
And that's why hopefully we have our pilot buddy on soon. I want to ask him about
Well, and I'm curious.
Our serious question: when fat people get on,
have the dimensions ever changed? You know, did they start out at a
Sure.
certain, and then they made them wider, made them less? You know,
Yeah.
because obviously, like you said, they're trying to fit as many people as they can. You know, it's every business is trying to make money. I get it. I think I read something the other day that every flight is automatically overbooked because they feel like not everybody is going to show up to every flight, so let's make as much
and that's
money on it as
frustrating.
possible.
That's frustrating because that happens all the time. And what ends up happening is they offer these vouchers that are worth. It's just kind of, to me, it seems they have their own algorithms. They have their own way of doing things. I'm not them, but it just seems like, I don't know. It seems like flying, it could be a lot less stressful than it is if these companies would alter some of their thinking. But I wanted to know. I thought about the cello thing, and then I said, what about if a larger person, do they need to buy a seat? At what age? I mean, is two a good age? I mean, as a parent, I'm sitting here going, I feel like I should have had to buy a seat for my he's 3 months away from being 2 years old.
Yeah.
And I don't think if he's in a lap and somebody's trying to, sit next to us, I think he'd be a huge pain.
Well, again, in safety, if you're able to, I mean, how does that affect the seatbelt?
Mm-hmm.
Does that affect the safety of that seatbelt, with the child in your lap?
Yeah. Well, they're claiming at that age, I don't know if they just don't care at that age or what.
Yeah.
But at that age, they're saying you can hold them tightly enough to where it's not going to, look, if something happens, it ain't going to matter. That's kind of what they're saying.
I guess.
He's that age. But anyway, so that was that. The next one, I only have two more. The next one is, there are people that apparently, and again, all of these I've seen social media pictures of people posting saying, look what this idiot's doing. Apparently somebody was changing the channels or the selections on the TV with their bare feet.
Oh, come on. That's disgusting.
You've never done that?
With the bare feet?
I'm joking.
No, because I mean, I'm not extremely tall, but there's no way I don't think I can get my foot up there to change the channel.
But I think that's the point, is that people are kind of laying backwards. They're laying back a little bit, and then they just have their feet resting up there, and they just use their toes.
That's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. Okay. So we don't need to go any further. We agree that's gross.
Yeah.
And so now think about it, though. When you go on your flight, and now you're using your fingers, and somebody else would have just used their toes.
Well, thanks to my ex-wife, I actually use the knuckle. Anytime I change the channel, I do with the knuckle.
See, I have never done that, and now that's probably why I'm going to die if somebody's feet were on there.
Yeah.
I'm going to use the knuckle from now on.
Yep, I knuckle it.
If I ever see your ex-wife again, I'll tell her a few things, and then I'll thank her for this.
Thank you for the knuckle.
Exactly. What do you think about, and this one's more of a basic, what do you think about the Mile High Club? Do you think that's dirty? Do you think that that's inappropriate? Do you think that that's sexy?
I have come to realize that...
You've what?
I've come to realize...
Sorry, I couldn't resist.
It just seems like, the thrill of getting caught always adds that little extra dimension or extra excitement to sex. Would I want to try it? Absolutely. The bathrooms are fucking
So you're willing to say that you're not a member?
I'm not a member.
Okay. The bathrooms are indeed small. Which I think is what there's been some funny movies that I've seen, obviously.
Oh, absolutely.
European Vacation, and I think there's one with Ashton Kutcher called Just Married.
Just Married?
Yeah, that was pretty good. And
that's a good one.
And they were in there trying to get it on. But I don't know. I mean, I just feel like it's so gross in those bathrooms.
That too.
And I just didn't know what you thought, because then if you think about, say you're on an airplane and then you go into the bathroom and you go, all right, in the last how many days, how well is this bathroom cleaned, and how many people have fucked in here? and you're going, like, I didn't know if you were supportive of it or if you thought that was disgusting and no one should do it.
I'm supportive of it. But I would try to figure out a way in the seats, maybe with a blanket.
Just had this visual of paper towels all over the bath. And you're like, whoa, that paper towel moved. Like, hold on, baby.
Hold up.
Yeah.
No, I think I would be more apt to try it on a long flight. It's dark, blanket.
Fair enough. Long flights for sure.
Yeah.
The bathrooms are usually a little bigger on these big planes.
So
A
blanket. Over. Yeah.
Stewardess.
Just kind of a lean over.
I just said stewardess. I'm sorry.
I don't need any
Flight
drinks
attendant.
or water, nothing right now. Just keep going.
Flight attendant, can I have 3 blankets? And then I'm going to need another one for the actual movie.
Right.
When I sit back down. So those are mine. I thought that was pretty funny.
Now, there was one time we were flying, what's it, Australia. It was a long flight, international flight.
Qantas? What are they called? Anyway.
Qantas. Anyway, so there was a woman sitting in front of me, and at one point she literally threw her seat back to lay down.
That's another one. Yeah.
Just threw it back, and I literally caught my ex-wife's drink to keep it from spilling everywhere. And so, I'm a tall guy, and when it comes to these little bitty seats, and so literally her head is almost touching my face. And so I'm like, okay, I get it. It's a long flight. You want to be able to lean back. I get it.
Yeah.
So I leaned up and I said, ma'am, I get it. I said, just give me a heads up next time. Just give me a heads up. And she said, oh, okay, I'm sorry. So lights came on. They served us food, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, lights dimmed back. Boom, threw the seat back. I was like, this is fucking ridiculous. So needless to say, for the rest of that flight, I don't know how many hours it was, I played the drums on the back of her seat with my knees.
Yes.
All the way home.
Yeah, this is Australia. This isn't like Dallas to Houston. This is Australia.
This is fucking ridiculous. I mean, just say, hey, I'm coming back.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Let me hold shit.
Why is that hard?
I don't get it. I usually will lean back and say, hey, do you mind if I lean back a little further? Cool. Yes. Come on back. So I didn't tell her not to lean her seat back. Just give me a heads up. So
there's a lot of airplane stuff, and maybe that'd be a good segment. We'll explore some of those. But those are the ones that stuck out when I was reading this article and seeing these pictures. I was just like, okay, the Mile High Club is always fun to talk about.
That would be interesting.
Does what counts as the Mile High Club?
That's a good question.
Does it have to be intercourse?
Yeah.
Or does it have to be maybe oral? Does that count?
Interesting.
Okay, maybe that's
still not part of the Mile High Club though.
Maybe that'll be one of our serious topics.
What about a hand job?
I don't think so.
No?
I don't think you can count that, can you? Because look, I'm not going to lie to you. I think certain people have had that under blankets in the seats.
Well, I mean, I've done it to myself, so I don't know if that counts. Maybe
You're
I
like,
shouldn't have said that.
Someone says, "Are you part of the Mile High Club?" You're like, "Hell yeah, I am."
Yeah, I am.
With somebody else? No. Yeah,
that was
a solo member.
Solo.
It's a different club, a whole different club. Anyway, that's great.
Dirty.
Let's move on. So this is super, super fast because I knew this was going to happen. We're going to come back after a long break, and then we're just going to babble. But get this. So in Nevada, there are some rangers / troopers / highway patrol who plowed through. I laugh at the worst things, Trey, but they plowed through a group of protesters who were blocking the highway.
Okay.
And they were environmentalists. They claimed they were environmentalists, and they were climate activists. So they were doing some sort of blockade. And apparently the sheriff / highway patrolman, whatever, go look it up, was
do your own research.
And I'm going to do the gun thing. And they had their guns out, and they said, "We'll give you 30 seconds to get out, to move, or
to get off the street.
To get out of the street.
Okay.
You're blocking the road. That is illegal."
Gotcha.
They didn't do it, so they just plowed through.
They moved them themselves.
Got out. Arrested them.
My arm's broken.
Yeah, they basically just whoop some ass is what happened, and of course now that everybody's up in arms and about
the broken ones.
Yeah, they can't be
up in arms.
They can't get upset. So real fast, do you think if you are blocking the road, which is illegal, where's the line? Where's the line? What can you do to quote unquote move them I mean, what if you're on your way to work? What if you have a family? You got to go to work. I mean,
well, especially when you have a family. I mean,
and you're talking about being in the city. Yeah.
You also have to think about these crazy assholes in this world. I mean, if you nudge them with your vehicle, I mean, are they going to pull out a fucking gun and shoot you? You know? So is it worth it?
Well, I don't know.
So unfortunately,
I don't mean to stereotype, but a lot of these activists,
they're not carrying a gun.
They're not really gun people either. They're usually the opposite. But you're right. I mean, who knows what they do? Maybe they all jump in your car. It becomes this huge ordeal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I've been on the highway before where these bikers that like to do the stunts and all that bullshit on the highway, and you know they come 100, 150 deep of motorcycles, and then they slowly slow down, blocking traffic, slowing down traffic, doing so they can do their fucking stunts. Oh, you know, I mean, if you were to accidentally nudge one of those fucking bikers,
that's not nudging. That's
you know, I mean, they could injure them.
That's what I mean.
So it's like, why do they feel the need to do that? You know?
Yeah, I think anything that you block traffic. I mean, traffic, especially where we are. I mean, we're in Dallas. It's bad enough. Anywhere that you're blocking a roadway that somebody needs to get to, I get mad at people that are there legally, like people doing yard work and their truck is in my way.
Right.
I mean, much less. But you don't protest all you want, but as soon as you block the roadway, you are doing it illegally.
Right.
People talk about, oh, I'm legally protesting. I'm allowed to protest. Well, then do it. But you're not allowed to do that. And then they get mad. You don't want us to protest. That's not it. I just want to be able to get from point A to point B.
I mean, even thinking about it on the other hand, how many people are distracted when they drive? Think about some idiot driving through there, look down on their phone and not even realize there's a protest there and run right through them. So, I mean, you know, for your safety too, let's not be stupid. Let's get on the sidewalk.
Yeah, I think we agree. These people they're stupid and they just need to. I'm definitely, and I don't think Trey is either. I think here at Stay in the Great podcast, I think we support people having the right to I was going to say bitch and complain.
Let's protest against stupidity.
Right. They have a right to protest things that matter, and that's the point. That's the point of this country.
I would love to protest.
But you have to do it. Maybe
I'm just too lazy to make a sign.
Why don't we What was there was a comedian that said, I wanted to go protesting, but I didn't know how to. It was something. Anyway, it was something funny, and it made no sense.
Yeah.
I was against picketing, but I didn't know how to show it. Like I was against picketing with a sign, but I didn't know.
I see what you did there.
I see what you did. That's
pretty funny.
That may be cut, maybe not. It was Mr. Mitch Hedberg, rest in peace.
Yeah,
he was great, but that's the thing. I mean, go do your thing, protest. That's what this country's about. But do it the right way.
Yeah,
and
safely.
And don't sit there and act like just because you have a right to protest that everybody else should just cater to you. Just because you want to protest doesn't mean that everyone's gonna go, oh shit, we better stop and check this out.
Right.
So anyway,
be smart about it.
Be smart about it. All right, take me away from that one. I don't know. I read that story and I just kind of laughed, and then I didn't know why I laughed, and then I laughed again.
Yeah.
And then I realized that I'm okay with laughing at that. So
I thought it was funny.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
So I was at the gym the other day, and I thought this was kind of interesting. So I walk up to one of the machines, and
you were at the gym.
I was at the gym, and
Shocked.
There was a little gym bag sitting there in front of one of the machines or whatever. And
a gym bag, you mean like somebody bring their clothing?
Yeah, and there's actually a cell phone sitting on there. So I'm assuming somebody is close by.
Right.
So I look over to the closest person next to me, and I look at him, and I said, is this your bag? Oh, no. Okay. So I kind of turn around to this guy behind me, and I kind of pointed at the bag. I was like, is this your bag? And mid part of his exercise, where he looks me dead in my eye, he says, I don't fucking know.
Wow.
I was like, all right, this is intense.
Take it easy.
So I said, okay, sorry. And so I continued to look around, because usually when you walk up...
So he was just mad at you for like...
I don't know. He was mad at the fucking world. I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, he had these crazy eyes, and I was just like, all right.
Did he... I just snorted. It was like a bulging vein.
Something. I mean, it was... I was like, all right, my bad. So usually when you walk up and somebody's just happened to walk away, usually they're right back real quick. So I'm thinking, okay. So I did another turn around just to kind of see if anybody was walking back up to their bag. And I accidentally made eye contact with this gentleman again.
Same guy.
And he proceeded to tell me, I don't give a fuck. I was like,
to what? Wait.
I didn't even say anything. I just happened to accidentally, I was doing another round around the gym. It's just said, I don't give a fuck.
So you didn't turn and say something else?
I didn't. I just happened to look in his direction. We accidentally made eye contact again. And he looks me dead in my eye and says, I don't give a fuck.
Oh, my God.
And I was like, okay.
How long was it between interactions with this guy? It was like a minute or two?
It wasn't even that long. It was just.
But it was still, but the point was he was going to.
I didn't even.
He was going to let you know that he did not.
He did not give a fuck.
Not give a fuck.
So I proceeded to turn back around. I started doing my exercise, and I heard him mumbling some other things, and I just kind of, please God, don't do anything crazy while I'm here.
I wonder if he was on something.
I don't know. He was intense. I mean, eyes were.
What exercise was he doing?
I was doing. He was on the triceps, so the cable machine and stuff like that. So yeah, it was. He was into it.
All of a sudden, there's
like, I'm sorry.
A little extra grunting going on up there. You're like, okay, this guy.
He's kept mumbling something, and I've seen guys walking around just mumbling shit, and
he had to be he had to be roided out, don't you think?
I don't know, but
I know you, and I just get this because you're so nice, and I can just turn to you like, do you know what this bag is? And I can just see this guy just like,
right. He was upset about life. I don't know. Or he was just really into that exercise.
But it was the second one. It was just the eye contact.
Yeah.
You didn't even.
Just a little eye contact. I was like, I promise I wasn't asking you about the back again. So, yeah.
You should have finally, just for the sake of the show, asked him for a third time. Like,
are you sure?
Like, I really need to know who's back. Are you sure you don't know who this
the phone had a pink case on it. Are you sure this is not yours?
Is this yours? Yeah.
So yeah, that's
pretty funny.
Anyway,
that's funny.
So
let's do some crazy facts. Which category are we going to?
This tonight? One's crazy deaths. Which I guess if I would ask this man one more time, it would have been a crazy death.
I love crazy deaths. So okay, let me retract. I love crazy death stories for the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's hear it.
So this one is actually called Tragic Fall.
Well, that sounds very basic, but I'm gonna go ahead and listen.
So, it says this couple, while caught in the throes of passion.
Now I'm in.
Two young lovers, both 21.
Oh, to be 21.
Tumbled 50 feet from a rooftop.
What?
In Columbia, South Carolina. Says their naked bodies were found on the road by a taxi driver. Said the driver alerted police, who were first bemused until they searced.
What?
Bemused? BEMUSED.
No. I know what that.
You know what that is?
Yeah, that's not.
That's seems, a real word.
Yeah, that seems odd for a police when they get on the scene.
So needless to say, the taxi driver sees two naked people dead. Right? Alerts the cops. Cops show up. They were bemused until they searched the area around the death scene and found the couple's clothes in a pile on the roof.
Oh.
So it says the driver was stunned. It's rather unusual to find two naked people in the middle of the road. He said the deaths were being treated as a tragic accident, adding, "We believe they tumbled off the roof while in the heat of passion." Said the victims, who died of multiple injuries after falling, had both recently graduated from South Carolina University.
Oh, so
that was
Columbia. Anyway. Yeah, Columbia is the Gamecocks, by the way.
Can you imagine that? So we were talking about the Mile High Club, but on the roof? I mean, that's fun. But then you fall fuck off. I mean, what could you have been doing at that point that you didn't realize I'm right next to the fucking edge of a building before you fall off?
Or figure angles out. Like, figure out.
Right. Let's plan this shit out a little bit.
I'm trying to think about this, Trey. So I have a lot of questions, but I'm going to try and narrow it down. So first off, do they know for sure? What if it was like some sort of dare and they took the clothes? I mean, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, what if, do they know they were like banging on the roof?
That's a good question.
But
there's no mention of a condom.
Ooh,
So they were not
college, 21.
They weren't practicing
Right.
safe sex literally on this
Yeah,
one.
in more ways than one.
Off the fucking roof. Anyway.
So if you're going at it, can you imagine, Trey? Let's just say you're going at it with a lovely lady on the rooftop, and let's just say, just for shits and giggles, she's on top.
Okay.
And
I like
it. You're enjoying it. It's passionate but fun, but it's serious but also
Playful.
Playful.
Okay. I'm with
At
you.
what point do you realize that you're fucking going off this roof?
Right.
I mean, did all of a sudden they go, oh shit, and try and catch themselves, or
Yeah.
was it so good they were just like, we're not going, and then all of a sudden they were just off? And how far did you say it was?
50 feet.
And they died?
It says they died.
50 feet? Look,
Can you imagine if he was...
50 feet is... Sorry, I don't mean to be...
What if he was having an orgasm as they went off? Is that an amazing orgasm or...
Well, if there's a way to go, then
That's the way to
go,
do
I would imagine. No, as long as once they hit, it was quick. Yeah. Can you imagine hitting? Never mind. Let's move on. Okay.
next one? Okay.
Man, you know what, Trey? What that story just did was tell me never have sex on the roof. There you go. Move.
There
on.
you go.
Next topic.
Or be a little careful.
Yeah. Or how about a flat? How about a roof that didn't have such an angle?
Apparently. But it's all about the angle, Ryan.
It's all about the angle in many ways.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Trey.
So the next one, gone in a flash. So I thought this was interesting. So
I'm intrigued.
did you hear the one about the shoplifter who was found dead under a shop? Well, this isn't
Under a shop.
under
like
a shop.
in a basement or underground?
I guess we'll find out.
Okay, sorry, I'll be quiet.
Well, this story isn't far off. It says burglar Santiago Alvarado.
I feel like you didn't have to do that.
I didn't, but I did.
But it was
Gotta
still
take advantage
It
of
was
it.
still funny.
Yeah, I love the names. Santiago
Alvarado, right?
Alvarado
Sure.
was killed as he fell face first through the ceiling of a bicycle shop. He was burglarizing in Lompoc, California.
Oh, he was going to rob this shop.
So he was robbing the shop.
The ceiling, the roof of it.
Fell through the ceiling of it.
Okay.
Yes. So Santiago died when the long flashlight he had placed
I can't wait for the end.
in his mouth
Oh,
to keep his hands free rammed into the base of his skull as he hit the floor. It says,
Is it bad that I'm like, yeah, fuck you. You deserve this, you robber.
it says, let this be a lesson that crime doesn't pay, kids.
Well,
So we're not sure what happened to his getaway driver, seen above in disguise. I don't know.
his getaway driver got the fuck out of there.
Yeah,
His guy just rammed a flashlight through his skull.
it was fucking
The
skull.
getaway driver's like, I'm out.
But how did he know? Well,
How do you know? Well, no.
how do you know when to roll?
I don't know.
You hear sirens coming up? I don't know.
If I'm a getaway driver and I hear sirens, I'm out. I mean,
Done, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's kind of. Yeah, I would negotiate that with the guy before he went in. I'd be like, look,
I don't like you that much.
I'm letting you know there's a siren.
Or if you hear a crash, do you bolt at that point?
I don't know, because maybe a crash, he could have been successful.
Yeah.
I don't know. Either way, that I can't even imagine an entire. Was it like a big flashlight or like a little I can't even
It
imagine.
says he was holding it in his mouth, so I had to assume
It was like one of those
Smaller one?
Magnum
Yeah.
flashlights. Camp,
one of those ones that cops
camp.
carry.
Yeah.
I mean, if his mouth is that strong,
good
you
for
know.
him.
So yeah, that was
Yeah.
a couple of interesting.
Oh God. And I don't. You
deaths.
know what? Some of these ones we've talked about before, I've laughed at, and then I apologize. I say I don't mean to laugh, but you know, if you're gonna shoot somebody because you think you have bulletproof potion, you deserve. I laugh at this guy because he was a criminal, and I don't have a lot of sympathy for criminals.
Well, and the family came out and said, he
Sure.
was he was an angel.
Yeah, he would never
He was
have done anything
misunderstood.
like this.
This is not.
They gave him proper flashlight training.
This was false news.
as a youth. In Cub Scouts, they talked about flashlights, and this was
Yeah, he was just trying to feed his family.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
So anyway, sorry,
Yeah,
Santiago.
Yeah, Santiago. Let's talk about a sore throat. I can't even imagine.
Can't even imagine that.
All right, let's do awareness real quick before we wrap it up.
So,
Go ahead.
Sorry.
You know,
got a little excited about
you're
this
ready
one.
to go. We're going to do a look. Most people now have listened to the show, but if you haven't, this is called an awareness of self-awareness.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. And it's a bitch fest for sure, but it's about people that need to be more self-aware. So Trey
fun.
apparently has one in the chamber.
Which goes perfectly for this.
Okay, good.
So
I didn't even mean to do that.
I don't know if you ever kind of, I don't know, look at yourself and figure out, okay,
Well, yeah.
I need to have awareness of self-awareness in
I
things
do.
you do.
Yeah, I do. I admit.
So I know we joke around from time to time about my sexual preference. I don't know if that's the right way to put it.
The possibility. I'm sorry. Can we all take a moment to laugh at the fact that anybody that's been with us this long in the show, and I wish we had Antoine here because he would laugh at this. We have a buddy that's come on the show quite a bit, but people have wondered if Trey has a little bit of some gay tendencies. I know for a fact that he's not, but it's still funny.
So
go ahead. I'm sorry. I just had to look. I got to give everybody what they.
So for anybody that thinks I may have these gay tendencies, okay, I've become aware that I would not.
There's so many things you could say right now.
I don't feel like I would be a good gay lover, and let me tell you why.
Oh, okay.
So
Because you're selfish.
my gag reflex is horrible.
Oh.
So I was at the dentist the other day, and you know how they do the X-rays and stuff.
Hold on. Hold on. Yeah,
Okay.
You got to give me a second on that. I'm thinking of one of our friends, one of your close friends, and somebody I really like that.
They have a bad gag reflex.
No. He always gives you a hard time. He's like, "Quit, you act so gay on the show."
Yeah.
I'm remembering him now, and he's gonna love this one.
Yeah.
Like, go ahead.
But I'm at the dentist.
Here's a dentist.
They're shoving those things in the mouth to.
I get. Yeah.
take the-
I don't
anyway.
like that. No one likes that, Trey. Even gay people.
It makes me gag.
No one likes that.
It's horrible. And so then another, I'm riding my bike at night or in the morning or whenever the fuck I'm riding the bike, and these fucking bugs keep. They will literally hit the back of my throat, and I will start gagging, trying to cough them up. I'm sitting there thinking, this can't be good for a gay relationship. A gag reflex like this is horrible. Not to mention the last time I had a man in my mouth, it was disgusting.
So not only was the not only was the reflex bad, but you didn't enjoy it.
It was
You
horrible.
didn't enjoy it, yeah.
So I'm just saying.
But I can't imagine.
Trying to bring self-awareness to myself, Ryan.
I can't imagine that gay guys like bugs going in the back of their mouths when they're riding their bikes.
And it's horrible. You're riding the bike and it hits the back of your throat and you're like, it's just horrible. And just trying to spit it out. It's just, you don't get a second date
You're
like that.
telling me there's a correlation between bugs hitting the back of your throat while riding a bike and oral sex between a gay man.
You would think so, right?
Sure. I don't know. I'm learning. I'm trying to
Learn?
I'm learning. Maybe we should ask any of our gay friends that we have, because we have some now,
Yeah.
and see what they think.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, that'll be the first question we ask. Oh my goodness.
man.
That's pretty funny.
yeah.
I'm going to do one real fast. Do you have another one real quick?
The only other one I can think of recently is people that like to roll through stop signs. And so if you're not sure
Everybody does that, though.
roll through a stop
Yeah.
sign is they come up to the stop sign, and instead of coming to a complete stop, they decide to go ahead and just roll up, see if anybody's there, and go. So, I mean, there's been so many times here recently where I'm out riding my bike, and I try to make eye contact with the driver, and
We all know
they're
you're
trying
a
to
bike.
pay attention to oncoming traffic more than me. I get it, but they don't have fucking stops. They never stop. And sure enough, they roll up to the stop sign, see that they can get out, and as soon as they turn their head, they see me, and a couple of them freak the fuck out. I'm like, yeah, you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Look both ways, or stop your fucking car. But and I'm thinking, if these kids are out riding, they're probably not paying attention as much as I am. I'm sitting there trying to make eye contact with them, and these poor kids probably aren't, but maybe they stop.
You mean like training wheels and
No, not to that point. Because I'm near a high school, and I've seen some, which is weird because here recently I'm always coming back to my apartment as kids are going to school, so I feel super cool as I ride through on my mountain bike with my helmet on and stuff like that. As you see these like 7 and 8 year olds ride by me, and they're just scooting along, looking at me like I'm an idiot.
This guy has a helmet on.
Yeah.
What the fuck's this deal?
So yeah. So
does your helmet have one of the back ends that like a point?
No.
Okay.
It did have the little visor, and I took that off.
No, but I am going to buy you one of those.
The ones that stick straight out?
The one that looks like you're going so fast that it's like the whole helmet.
Just looks like I have sperm on my head.
The whole helmet's a point in the back. I think
Shit.
I would be more... I would laugh more at that visual when you tell your bike stories if you had that helmet.
If I had the helmet.
And if I buy it for you, then I know.
I'll wear it for you.
You would.
know I would.
Okay, good.
So,
well, rolling through the stop signs, I mean, everybody, people do that. But you're right. It's not just about cars. It's about all kinds of stuff.
people walking, riding their bikes, especially if you're close to schools, just...
Well, the biggest thing, and you and I have talked about this before, the biggest thing is that when you go through and you're looking this way... If people can see me. If you can't see me, I'm looking left.
Looking left.
And then all of a sudden, in the 3 to 5 seconds that you looked left, something else could have happened over here on the right. And then instead of just going, you have to look back to make sure that nothing's happened.
Right.
Trey could have all of a sudden jumped into your your right side area.
There's a couple times I've thought about just jumping off my bike and just throwing it out there just to see what they do.
Just to see if they get out.
I mean, I need a new bike anyway, so.
Look, you and I quote movies all the time. Do you remember European Vacation when they hit the biker?
Yes.
And he's like, no, really, it's fine. He's like, blood is literally
shooting out of his arm.
Yes. And he's like, no, American, great. Where are you from?
Yeah.
He's like trying to act.
The bike is beat to hell.
He's like, no, it's just a flesh wound.
Yeah.
Really. That's what I think of when I think of you getting hit.
Yeah.
By a car.
Yeah.
Except I don't know if you, but you're nice. You would be like that. You'd be like, oh, it's okay. It's I'll just
scoot over. Just have the ambulance pick me up here.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out what's going to happen first. A jungle cat's going to get me, or I'm going to get hit by a car. So I don't know.
You're bringing up all these old topics.
Yeah.
Again, Trey believes there are mountain lions in Dallas, Texas. There was a report of one earlier in the spring, and those episodes are no longer available.
Yeah.
I think we talked about.
Maybe
those.
we'll tell.
We'll tell the story again. But so now, not only are there mountain lions, bobcats, and didn't one of them leave a raccoon?
Yeah, on the trail
for you.
For me.
Okay.
So
fair enough.
They're mobbed up.
They're mobbed, and they are going after Trey.
Yeah.
And then we saw a cat outside this door.
Exactly.
But
keeping tabs on me.
Keeping tabs. So anyway, those are good. I like those. I'll do one real fast, and then we'll wrap it up. And this is quick and easy and simple. And if there's anybody that says, you know what, that's not that big a deal, then you don't stop listening to us because we're not on the same page. You know what? I take it back. Listen to us. but sit there. But don't tell your friends. I don't know what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is that if you're in line at, let's say, Starbucks or an ice cream shop or anywhere where there's a line involved. And
Free birds.
That's a good one. Where there are 5 to 10 people in line, and you're sitting there going, "Oh, okay, I need to hurry. Let's go."
Right.
And you get up, and the person in front of you doesn't know what they want by the time they get to
Motherfucker.
to the front of the line. They've had 10 to 15 minutes to analyze the menus right there, what they want. All of a sudden, they've got questions. They don't know exactly what they want. I don't even know if they know where they are.
How is this meat prepared?
Yeah. What is a burrito? Is
that how it's pronounced?
Yeah. So the other day, this happened at Starbucks, honestly, and this lady comes up, and of course, she wants to know all about. Sorry, I'm rubbing my temples right now. She wants to know all about how the different milk is prepared for whatever. And all my kids wanted was some damn cake pops, which are right there. And
Great choice.
But I knew that before I got to the front of the line.
Right.
Even my kids, my 1.5 and 3.5-year-olds knew which cake pop they wanted by the time we got to the front of the line.
Nice.
This bitch in front of me didn't have a clue what she wanted, even though we were waiting in line for 10 minutes.
That's ridiculous.
That's a good one, right?
That's a good one. That's a very good
Just be aware. Be like, look, let me try and... And she was on her phone the whole time. That I guess that...
Have your questions ready. If you have to ask questions, because you know how much of a child I am when it comes to eating and ordering.
Sure. Right.
So just have your questions ready. Boom, 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 boom.
That's the point, though, is you have established a talent for it. You understand.
Right.
And you're willing to work hard to not piss everybody off around you.
Exactly. Or just let somebody go in front of you.
But, you know? I guess I don't get why you're sitting there and you don't know what you want and you're doing other things. And of course, it could be an emergency situation. Probably not.
And I'm sure they've been in a Starbucks before.
Right. I mean, and I think she ended up getting like a medium coffee.
She got a bottle of water.
Anyway. So that was mine tonight, was just, if you're in line, and especially if you've got more than a few minutes of thinking,
right?
How about you figure out what you want? Because people behind you are in a rush. I have 2 kids. They need to get,
Seems simple enough. We got to get the cake pop.
Simple enough. Man.
I want a cake pop now.
I know. My kid got cookies and cream. That's what I would get.
Great.
My other kid wanted some berry bullshit.
That's
I wasn't a fan of that.
Hopefully you whooped his ass.
Yeah, he's not even 2 yet, so I didn't get too upset. Okay. If he was 2, I would have tried.
Maybe he picked it for the color too, though.
Yeah, well, he probably picked it for the colors.
Yeah.
Right? In fact, last time there are 2 that are very similar to each other, and then I swear we're gonna stop talking. 2 that are very similar to each other. There's one that's yellow and one that's purple.
Okay.
He calls it blue, but it's pretty much purple.
Gotcha.
And they look very similar. Well, I got him the yellow one, and it was like a shit show. I mean, he was just pissed. Like, I wanted blue, and he can't even barely talk. But he could talk enough to tell me that I fucked up.
Yep.
And so today...
That's your boy.
Today I brought him in there, and he looked at me almost like, did you figure this out yet?
I can see it too.
I looked at the guy, go, give me one of those right there, these purple blue owl thingies. And he was happy the whole way home, just eating the shit out of it. So
you got to learn.
You got to learn. Be good at data. I'm so happy to be back, dude.
Yes, sir.
Vacation. It was not the best vacation, but maybe that's because we're supposed to be doing this.
Right.
So I'm excited.
Don't do that shit again.
Yeah. Again, I'll mention it. Subscribe to everything you possibly can for us. Help us out.
Spotify, YouTube.
And if you don't want to and you really hate us, let us know. So at least we know that's why you're not subscribing.
Or just send us your login information. We'll subscribe for you. Does that work?
I never thought of that. That's a great idea.
There you go.
I will start a whole folder on my computer of everybody else's login information, and we'll do it ourselves. We'll subscribe.
Once we subscribe, you can change your password back.
You change it back, and everything's good. So, no, but in all seriousness, like us, look at YouTube and Spotify and all that, and it means a lot to us. We love what we're doing here for you guys, and I hope you're enjoying it. Anything else?
I think I'm good.
I'm good. See you next time.
Later.
Love you guys.
Just thinking, I might not have been very good because he didn't call me the next day either.